This is Ask Brent G, episode 5, where I answer your questions on guest blog posting for the first time, how to collaborate with other freelancers, my most proudest moment in my career, and what's the hardest thing in freelancing that most people don't like to talk about. Diving right into it, the first question comes from Shaylee, and she asks, were you apprehensive guest blogging for the first time? Did you feel like you weren't expert enough? This is a great question, Shaylee. Of course, I was apprehensive when I did my first guest blog post for an established blog, because I was putting out a message to hundreds, probably tens of thousands of other designers and freelancers. And that's scary because I was always afraid that my message wasn't going to resonate well with people, or maybe I was going to come off and sound naive because I'm just kind of sharing my own experience in my own voice. So it was a major step outside of my comfort zone. I'll be honest with you, I was so scared when my first post went out. I was afraid it wasn't going to resonate. But as soon as some of the comments started to come in, it was resonating. And it was very surprising for me that I was able to reach people. Because, I didn't have an audience at this time. So I was kind of just sharing my own experience to someone that had an audience. And this skyrocketed my traffic to my website, my search ranking, and a bit of my confidence. It encouraged me to write more. And eventually, after guest posting for about 6 months on other blogs, I started sharing more on my blog on a consistent basis. And it's just been all uphill from there. If you want to start guest posting, look at the sites that you already visit, or maybe the websites that have the audience you want to reach. See how they format their blog posts, start commenting on their posts, and become part of their community. And then just simply reach out to the blog and share some of your ideas, share that you want to share your own experience, and see if they accept contributed articles. Most of the time they do. And as long as you have something to share, I'm sure they'd be willing to have you express what you know to their audience. Melissa asks, how do you collaborate with other freelancers? Collaborating can be great. It's a way for you to help get your name out there. It's a way to do bigger and better things, and it's fun to work with someone else, because I know, at least for me, 99% of my work is all done by myself when I'm working one-on-one with clients and working on my own projects. If you want to start collaborating with other freelancers, start by finding the right person that you feel you'd be compatible working with. I would recommend starting on Twitter. Look at the people you follow. You see those tweets coming every single day, so chances are you can get a sense of what kind of person someone is. Once you find someone that you want to collaborate with, then just simply reach out, but make sure you're reaching out with a good reason for the opportunity. You can't just email someone and be like, I like your stuff, let's work together, because that doesn't give them any reason to take the time to work with you, because collaborating is a lot to take on. There's a lot of efforts that both of you have to do. There's a lot of time to plan and to do all of that stuff. So at least for you, if you're reaching out to someone, you're gonna have to do a lot of legwork. You can't just be a doormat. And what I mean by a doormat is you don't just go up to someone's door, knock on it, ask them for their help or to work on something, and then just sit on their couch while they do all the work. You have to bring a lot of information and organization and ideas up front that can interest them in it, because again, it takes a lot of time. It's also important to factor in what that other person's current workload is like. You can't reach out to someone that you know is extremely busy and expect them to want to collaborate. Sure, you can ask, that doesn't hurt, but don't get offended or hurt if they just can't commit to another project. This next question comes from Charlie, and she asks, what's been your proudest moment of your freelance career so far? The proudest moment of my freelance career was the day my fiance Anita and I closed on our house, because that meant that my freelancing had become a livable income. That is absolutely huge for me, that I can pay part of my mortgage and half of the bills in partnership with Anita from what I love to do. I freelanced full-time for a good 2.5 years before I started making even over $500 a month. And I took so many risks to get to where I am today, and it's finally paying off. And so this definitely has to be the proudest moment of my career thus far. I've got another question from Femka again. And she asks, what's the hardest part of freelancing that people don't often talk about? The hardest thing that most freelancers don't talk about will probably have to be money and taxes. You can Google how to overcome creative block, how to be productive, how to make money online, all that stuff. But it's daunting to talk about taxes because it varies depending on where you live and how you structure your business. So to sum up everything you might find online, the advice you need for how to do your taxes as a freelancer would be to hire a professional. It's as simple as that. To save money, frustration, and time, hire a tax professional to help you out on that. And this applies to anything that you're not good at, something that you're not interested or specialize in, is to hire help. It'll save you, again, time, frustration, and money. Those are all the questions I have for this episode. Thank you guys for sending in your questions. I hope it helps. And if you have a question on freelancing, graphic design, anything about me personally, just tweet me using the hashtag AskBrentG. So I'm gonna end this video asking you, what do you think is the hardest thing about freelancing that most people don't want to talk about? So let me know in the comments. If you like this video and want to see more, click the thumbs up button and hopefully you consider subscribing. It's completely free and it's the best way for you to get updates on my latest videos. That's all I've got for you, so I want to thank you for watching and have a great day.